beginning with my grounding. I'll be starting with the right leg first. So the first thing that we want to do is undrape. We want to grab our lubricant, warm it up in our hands, and apply. Now you don't want to start right here and go forward because you have all this lubricant in your hands. So spread it out first, okay? So this is not your first stroke. Just make sure that it's even so you don't have, just for lack of a better term, a big glob of lubricant here, and when you get up here you have almost none, okay? Your first effleurage stroke is called the V stroke. So, looking like a V, starting here, getting into position of your archer stance. So I know you can't see from the angle that I have the video, but it is pointing in the direction of the stroke. So my right leg is going this way. When I switch, it will be my left leg and foot going this way. Archer stance, V stroke, and then I am not compromising my back. Advance forward and then retreat back. If it feels a little draggy or tacky or a little dry, you can always stop. Still maintain the contact with your client. You see I have the back of my hand on his ankle. Grabbing my shea butter. Oops. Grabbing it. And again. And then, there we go. Advance. And so if you can see the crease, and I'll bring it a little bit closer, my hands aren't going all the way up and underneath, okay? It's actually following that crease. And so once I get that way, I bring it outward or laterally and then come back down. The pressure is not the same on your retreat back. It's not a nerve stroke either. And we'll get to nerve strokes in a minute. And I'm going to show you detail also. But you can effleurage with one hand. You can effleurage with both hands. As I showed you, you can stack. It's called shingles. You can do a shingle type effleurage. Once you start to get the hang of it, in terms of your body mechanics, you can alternate your hands. After you're done with this particular body part, with this particular stroke, you would do something called nerve strokes. Nerve strokes is just kind of an indicator that you are going to say goodbye to this particular body part. It is with your fingertips, and then you're going to draw back just once. It keeps that, keeps the leg relaxed. If you do it more than once, then it becomes stimulating, and I don't think that that's what we want. Let me see if I can get a little close up of what I was talking about in terms of that angle. So you see where it comes up this way. Now, if he didn't have underwear on, which when we get to the glutes, you know, we'll cross that road when we come to it, I would be able to go a little bit higher. But since that's not the case, and that's okay. So my V stroke is here, and then I'm coming all the way up. And so you see where my middle finger is just kind of grazing along that angle. That's where we want to go. So you don't want to go straight in. See where my other hand is? This is a no. Follow it along. Follow the line. When you're done, nerve strokes. And then redrape. So you would stop there. You would come from this side to this side. You would undrape this leg and do the same thing that we just did. For the purposes of time, I'm just going to do the one side. To the back. Have to use more than I thought. Whoops. There we go. So I'm going to bring this up and to the side so you can see what I'm about to do. So from the last video, the body mechanics video, I am now in this lunge position. So remember, when you're working on the back, you're going to be lunging forward and then retreating back, shifting from this leg to this leg. Now, when we're actually here, it doesn't matter which side you're on. You don't want to be directly behind your client because it's essentially a long journey. And if you're behind your client and you're doing one of these, you're going to risk your back. Plus, if you have any extra material on your clothing, that could come into contact with your client's head, and you just don't want that. Okay, so you can either be on the right side, your right side, with your knee bent, or you can be on the left side, which you cannot see, okay? But it's pretty much the same deal, okay? Where I don't want you to be is here, okay? So in terms of effleurage on the back, both hands on the top part of the back, okay? You don't want to put any undue pressure on the spine, so you are opposite the spine. And then with your body mechanics, you are coming down. Once you get towards that small of the back, you are going to bring your hands outward or pointing your fingers outward. You are going to retreat back. So now you are bending that back leg. You are coming all the way around. So again, fingers still point out. You're now at the upper traps. Your hands are out and they're going to turn in and then come in this way. So it looks like this. You keep turning your hands in till your hands become fingers, and then you lock it in right behind the back of the head. So, down, split to the sides, back, keep your fingers pointed out till you get to these shoulders. Then you're going to turn in, and then you keep turning. Hands become fingers. You should be on the back of the neck all the way up to the back of the head, which is called the occiput. I'm going to take this off so that you can be able to see that. So just to let you know, I'm in my yoga stuff. This is not how I this is not how I massage a person. So now, so you can get a better look. Down, part, back. My weight is now on that back leg. Turn your hands, keep turning, your fingers, your thumbs should be beating together all the way to the occiput. Just practice that a few times so that you have the concept. Everything else will be easy. And then effleurage. You could take one side of the body, and you don't have to stay at the head of the table. You can turn around. Again, I'm in my archer stance. You can come across. This is still effleurage. Alternating my hands. You can bring it back. When you're done, your nerve strokes. So I'm going to do this one more time. Nerve strokes. I'm going to take my little piece of shea butter, put it over here. I'm going to cover up my client. And then I'm going to help him turn over. Mr. Duncan, if you turn over for me, please, and then slide down off of the face rest. So I know you can't see it, but now I'm putting the bolster underneath his knees. Okay, I'm now at 13 minutes, so I'm going to do this relatively quickly. Oops. Arms out. Stabilize with one hand. Effleurage with the other. I'm going to show you how to do the hands in a later video. But you can alternate your hands, and you want to make sure that you get up and around the shoulder and then all the way down. Okay? This is just effleurage. This is just what we're practicing with now so that you can have your first stroke down along with your body mechanics. Really quick, because I'm going to put this back. The top leg is the same as it was. So it's just the V stroke. Okay? Okay? Nerve strokes. And then cover it up. I got a little over 10 seconds, so I'm going to stop there. That is your first stroke effleurage, and we'll come to petrissage momentarily.